The auction house on Kepler Station buzzed with nervous energy as hundreds of beings from across the galaxy shuffled in their seats. Slavers, collectors, and worse crowded the dimly lit amphitheater, their various appendages clicking, chittering, and rustling with anticipation. The air reeked of fear, greed, and something else, something darker. Captain Marcus Chen sat in the back row, his weathered hands folded calmly in his lap. Unlike the other bidders who leaned forward with hungry eyes, he remained perfectly still, watching, waiting. The auctioneer, a grotesque hut-like creature named Vextar, slithered onto the stage. His translator device crackled to life. "Welcome, esteemed buyers, to tonight's most unusual offering." A massive cage rolled onto the platform, covered by a black tarp that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. Whatever was inside thrashed violently, causing the reinforced bars to groan and spark with containment energy. "Behold!" Vextar yanked away the covering. "A Sanguinari female, the last of her kind!" Gasps echoed through the crowd as they beheld the creature within. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, her pale skin marked with intricate crimson patterns that pulsed like living veins. Her hair was white as starlight, flowing like liquid mercury down her shoulders. But it was her eyes that commanded attention, burning violet orbs that seemed to peer directly into one's soul. The Sanguinari woman pressed herself against the bars, baring fangs that could punch through starship hull plating. When she spoke, her voice carried the authority of ancient nobility despite her circumstances. "I am Lyrelai of House Nixandra, daughter of the Crimson Throne. Release me, and I may grant you a swift death." The crowd recoiled. Several smaller species actually fled the auction house entirely. Now, Vextar chuckled nervously. "Don't let her theatrics fool you. She's been properly subdued. Note, the neural inhibitor crown. She cannot access her full vampiric abilities. She's as harmless as a declawed feline." Marcus studied the device wrapped around her head. The cruel metal dug into her skin, drawing thin lines of silver blood. Her people's weakness wasn't sunlight or wooden stakes. It was psychic dampening. Technology that severed their connection to the quantum field that gave them their supernatural abilities. "Bidding starts at 50,000 credits, Vextar announced. "She's perfect for exotic collections, gladiatorial combat, or private entertainment." Silence stretched across the room like a physical thing. The various aliens shifted uncomfortably, stealing glances at each other, but none willing to make the first move. "Come now," the auctioneer pressed. "A genuine Sanguinari! Their homeworld was glass 3 cycles ago. She's literally irreplaceable." Still nothing. The woman in the cage, Lyrelai, swept her gaze across the crowd with obvious contempt. When her eyes found Marcus, however, they lingered. Something passed between them, a moment of recognition that transcended species barriers. Vextar's voice grew desperate. 40,000? 30? Surely someone appreciates the rarity of 1,000,000 credits. Every head in the amphitheater swiveled toward the back. Marcus Chen stood slowly, his hand raised in a casual gesture that sent shockwaves through the room. Did you say 1,000,000? Vexatar stammered. "You heard correctly?" Marcus began walking down the aisle, his boots clicking on the metal floor. "But I have conditions." The crowd parted before him like water. Murmurs rippled through the aliens as they recognized his species, human. The upstart race that had somehow clawed their way from a single planet to become a galactic power in less than 2 centuries. "The neural inhibitor comes off immediately," Marcus continued. "She gets proper clothing, food, and medical attention, and she travels in passenger quarters, not cargo." Vextar's eyes gleamed with greed. "For 1,000,000 credits honored human. She can travel on a throne of pure platinum." "No," Lyralee's voice cut through the chatter. "I will not be owned by anyone, human or otherwise." Marcus stopped directly in front of her cage. Up close, he could see the exhaustion in her features, the way malnutrition had hollowed her cheeks, but her spirit remained unbroken. "I'm not buying you," he said quietly. "I'm buying your freedom." Her violet eyes narrowed. "Explain." "My name is Marcus Chen, captain of the merchant vessel Defiance. I'm also a volunteer with the Galactic Liberation Front. We've been tracking this auction for weeks, waiting for the right moment to intervene." Behind them, Vextar was already calling for his security team to prepare the transfer. Credits were credits, and he didn't care about the buyer's motivations. Lyralee studied Marcus intently. In her culture, the ability to read auras was paramount, but the neural inhibitor had stolen that gift from her. She had to rely on more primitive instincts. "Why?" she asked. "Your species gains nothing from this gesture." Marcus smiled, and it transformed his weathered features. "Maybe that's exactly why we're doing it. The galaxy is full of races who only act for profit or power. Sometimes someone needs to do what's right simply because it's right." The security team arrived with payment scanners and transfer documentation. As they worked, Marcus continued, talking. "Your homeworld may be gone, but you're not the last Sanguinari. Our intelligence suggests there are others, scattered, hiding, but alive. We can help you find them if you want." For the first time since her capture, hope flickered in Lyralee's eyes. "And if I choose not to? If I simply wish to disappear? Then that's your choice to make. Freedom means having options, not just trading one cage for another." The transaction completed with bureaucratic efficiency. As the neural inhibitor was removed, Lyralee gasped as her full senses returned. The quantum field sang in her mind once more, and she could feel the life forces of every being in the room. But most intriguingly, when she focused on the human who had freed her, she found something unprecedented, a soul that burned not with hunger or need, but with genuine compassion. "Marcus Chen," she said, testing his name, "I believe your species may be more dangerous than anyone realizes." He chuckled as they walked toward the exit. "How's that?" "You weaponize kindness. In a galaxy built on exploitation, that makes you the most radical force imaginable." As they left the auction house together, neither the vampire nor the human fully understood the ripple effects their meeting would have. But across the stars, those who trafficked in misery would soon learn what humanity truly meant by the phrase, "no one left behind." The age of human compassion was just beginning.